Okay. So remember there was the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I think you went through rounds and answered questions, and you had to decide if you were going to take the money you'd already gotten to, or you were going to keep going double or nothing. I think that's how it worked. And so there's always this thing of like, I'm going to buy the lottery ticket and win a gazillion dollars. And I love when somebody's really excited about the lottery and asks, so what would you do with that money anyway? And it's funny because people will start telling you their daydreams. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other. And I don't buy lottery tickets, but if I bought one and I won, what would I do with it? Let's see. I would give the money away. I wouldn't even take the winnings. I would decide a charity and give them the money. Because I've had this good fortune of being an entrepreneur from very young in my life and being successful financially. And I also, my whole thing has always been living on less than what I make. But the thing is, what if you're not an entrepreneur? Most of us aren't. And most of us earn money, from some employer. We're not going to get huge money. So then the question is, how could there be so many people who become millionaires at just a regular job, not making big money? Two things happen: habit and time. Fidelity Investments puts out a report, I think once a year, about how many people who are in retirement plans, because Fidelity is one of the biggest 401k providers in the country, how many people who have 401k plans with them have become millionaires? How many people with IRAs with them have become millionaires? Just what they call 401k millionaires. 500,000. 500,000 people just paycheck to paycheck, putting money in a 401k, have become millionaires. Most in just regular old jobs. An employer that offers a 401k. 400,000 have done so with IRAs with them. But here's the thing. How long did it take the average person who had a 401k at Fidelity to make it to $1 million? Over 30 years. I mean, much of a working lifetime to get to that $1 million. And that's the thing. For years I said I was the turtle, but we had a Clark Sinks that corrected that I'm actually a tortoise. When I ran, I ran for 40 years. I was a runner. And I was the slowest runner in a race, pretty much. I was always in fear of the cone man when I would do a half marathon. If you're not a runner, when you're running a race on a public street, they've got to open that street back up to the public, and the street would steadily narrow, and the cone man would be coming behind in a truck, and you're trying to stay ahead of the cone man as the street would narrow, and then ultimately you didn't have the road anymore. That's how slow I ran. But I was running, and I'd go my 13.1, or I'd do a 10K or whatever, but always in fear of the cone man. It's the same thing with saving money. I still remember Krista and I were running a race together for Habitat for Humanity, a fundraiser for Habitat for Humanity in Ohio. And Krista said she was going to run with me. We were, 20 seconds into the race. And you were like, it's okay if I run ahead. You finished, was it a 5K or 10K that you finished like a half hour before?
No, I don't remember how long that race was. I have to say, though, I don't know if you heard Sally and I cracking up when you were talking about the code man. You actually made me snort, and that means I'm really laughing hard. That's hilarious.
See, you've never had to worry about the feared cone man. Did you even know there was the cone man thing?
I never would have thought
of that. Yeah, they call that the cone man. And I've gotten to know the cone man on, first name basis in a lot of races. But the point is, that my thing is habits. And, running for over 40 years, the habit, exercising every day, habit. And not an athlete at all, but have the habit. And you have this thinking that saving for yourself, saving for the future, that it just can't happen because I just get a regular check. Not true. And the Fidelity stats show it clear as could be that it's time in the game that makes the difference. And so that's why I want you to think that way. And we're going to...
I was just going to point out our calculators on Clark.com.
Of course you would.
Well, really, I mean,
Yeah.
they're excellent. Like, we have some great calculators, a 401k calculator, a savings table by rate of return, by years as well, and then a savings and investment calculator. We worked so hard on these, so if you want to project out, I think they're really good, and they're non-biased.
So you put in, I make this much, I can put this much away, put in this much year after year or paycheck after paycheck. And, you got to, if you don't know anything about investing, go in the target retirement fund choice in that plan. Simple. A lot of people shut down. They go into like the stable value fund or something like that. Not when you're playing a long game. If you're not into investing, you're not an expert at it, go in that target retirement fund choice. Is it perfect? No. Is it the great choice for people who don't know how to build a portfolio? Absolutely. Inside a Roth IRA, inside a 401k. Also, if you're working a regular job and you're participating in a 401k where you work, 80% of employers now offer the superior Roth 401k. Go in it, not the traditional 401k. Almost no one benefits any more from a traditional 401k over a Roth 401k. You have to be a mega income earner. We're looking like $500,000 a year or more for it to be a good idea to go in the traditional 401k instead of the Roth.